Of course.
So we've done about 10 pop-up outreach events throughout the community in the month of July. Again, this is our ongoing effort to make sure that folks are engaged and informed as to what's going on with the project. And we'll begin with the I-395 corridor. We have here a nice drone video of the arches. You see the farther arch, the tallest arch, that's arch number 5. We have completed all 86 installation of all 86 segments. And then here you see arch number 1 and arch number 2 that were previously completed. Foundations for arch 3 and arch 6 over here. And then arch 4 will provide a little bit more detail in the coming slides. This is an overhead view of the massive center pier structure where all 6 arches are going to meet. And you can see that we've erected arches at the center pier for all 6 arches. And then here you see the ongoing work. This is an overhead view. You have arch 1 and arch 2, and you have the westbound superstructure deck here. The crews are forming the reinforcing steel on that deck. Here you can see a close-up view, all the reinforcing steel that's being laid in preparation for the upcoming concrete pours. Here's a close-up view of arch 1 and arch 2 completed, and then the footer for arch 3. Moving on to the other side, you see on the left-hand side, the footer for arch 6. We've got ongoing excavation there. And arch 5, like I mentioned, all 86 precast segments have been erected. Contractor is preparing for the cast-in-place closure pour like we did on arch 1 and arch 2. And last time we met, arch 4, they were in the process of doing the wet joint. That's been completed. And starting next week, they should be erecting segments at arch 4. This is a close-up view of the footer of arch 3. You can see the steel workers placing the rebar, and these are the ducts for the tensioning cables that hold the arches together being put into the footer. As I mentioned, we completed the wet joint here. And now next week, contractors currently making preparations to begin erecting additional segments on arch 4 on both sides, the outside and on the inside where the center pier is. This is a shot of that last 86 precast segment being erected on arch 5. As I mentioned, the contractor will now prepare the platform and prepare for the cast-in-place closure pour. When we do that work, be mindful that we will be implementing full closures of Biscayne Boulevard underneath for safety. And again, we will take all events, all local events into consideration when planning the work. Here's a close-up view of arch 6 with the ongoing excavation. And then moving a little bit further to the west, we have the ongoing erection of roadway segments from just east of North Miami, and we're reaching over the railroad tracks, the FEC tracks. That work is obviously being done at night as we have to work when the trains are not running. Here you see some other shots of that work. You can see we're over the tracks here. And while we're working over the tracks, we use this special segment lifter as we don't want to damage the tracks with the crane. And also there's high powered FPL transmission lines overhead. So we don't want the boom of a crane anywhere near that. So that's why we use this special lifter to lift the segments when we're going over the tracks. Here you see some more of that work. And again, this work is taking place day and night. Moving a little bit further to the west, we have the Overtown Youth Center here, 14th Street. 3rd Avenue, ongoing construction of footers and piers. We had several concrete pours this week. You see one on the left. Crews working on the forms in this area, and concrete pours again during the day and at night. In this area, we will implement closures on 14th Street from 3rd Avenue to 7th Avenue as needed for safety when doing work over the roadway. And we hit another milestone here on I-95. We completed the concrete pavement from Northwest 8th Street to Northwest 17th Street. If you recall, we've already completed both northbound and southbound from 17th to 29th. And here you see the striping crews putting the travel lanes into their permanent configuration as we completed the pavement on northbound 95. And this picture I just took last night, we're erecting a sign structure over the northbound lanes near exit 3A, which is the exit to westbound 836. This is a time lapse of that operation. Again, we did have to implement a full northbound I-95 closure at Northwest 8th Street. So they did, as you can see here, they put the 2 uprights and the truss last night. Tonight, they will come back, perform another full northbound closure at I-95, and put up the directional signs. Moving on to 836, here you see a nice shot of the interchange core. We've got ongoing work in the median at the core with supports for the new double deck section. You have the straddle bent here that was completed, and we're currently working on this other straddle bent. As you can see here, there is a 3rd straddle bent that will go over the eastbound lanes on 836. Again, when we do this work, we are implementing full eastbound closures at 17th Avenue for safety. And then here you see the massive amounts of steel that are being prepared to place into the formwork of that straddle bent that we're working on. And then we will be able to pour the concrete. That rebar cage weighs 153,000 pounds. So the crews are still working on tying that rebar together. And as we move a little bit further west near the medical center area, you have ongoing work in the median, again, requiring closures as needed for safety. Here you see we're finishing up the last footer and pier in the jury parking area, the court building. That work's going on day and night in that area. We've completed the piers in the river. They've been painted, and we've also removed, you recall, we had to build some temporary trestle bridges to get the equipment out to the location of the piers. The trestle bridges have been completely removed on both sides, so that work is completed. We are working on the design. Part of our project scope includes the replacement in kind of the fendering system, so that design work is ongoing. And then towards the start of the project at 17th Avenue, we have our massive 488-foot gantry that erects the bridge beams and bridge caps. Since this picture was taken on July 18th, just last night, they completed the erection of all the beams on this span, which we call span 10. And now the contractor will prepare the gantry to launch it forward so they can then start erecting the beams on span 11, and that will continue towards the east. And here's a shot of that. This gentleman right here is controlling the lifting arms and moving the beams into place with that little controller. And recently, we also completed another bridge deck pour on the viaduct on the double deck section, just adjacent to 17th Avenue. And these are the crews working overnight on that operation. And here's a shot of that morning. Here's a fresh concrete looking towards the east. And again, all this work is requiring closures of 836 both in the eastbound and in the westbound direction between 17th Avenue and I-95. And now if there's, Daniel, this is my contact information that I spoke of. So now if there's any other questions, I'll open up the floor to questions.
0983.
Yep.
Okay,
That's my
and
cell
then,
phone, so I'm available anytime.
okay, perfect. And that's Oscar.Gonzalez, right?
With a
That was,
two.
is that,
Yeah.
that's okay. So that is a dot, okay, at DOT. Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel.
Excellent. Hmm. And then Oscar, one more thing. Um, so we can then contact you, if, we have any questions about any closures that, really affect, I would say, the connection between the Rickenbacker Causeway and the entranceway to I-95 and US 1?
Yeah, that's outside of our project scope, but if you have any questions about that, I'll help you get the answers.
Excellent. Thank you. That's what I needed to know. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it. We're good. So I'm going to be listening in.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any other
Hey,
questions?
Oscar.
Yeah.
It's Trevor over at Frost. How you doing?
Hey, Trevor, how are you?
I'm good, good. So I heard I guess the notice of the pooling of funds for the underdeck portion of the project is. I know you're probably still unpacking what that means for the overall project, but can you give us a little update of kind of where things are with that?
Yeah, Trevor, as you mentioned, we're still unpacking this. Just happened last Wednesday. So we're still trying to get our bearings. The city of Miami applied for a grant through the Reconnecting Communities program for the US DOT. They were awarded that grant. It hadn't been funded yet. But just last Wednesday, we got the notification that the grant monies were rescinded. So at this point, we're, the city of Miami is working through this as we are working together.
So there's some part of the project that's still funded with the bridge project.
This does not impact the construction, the reconstruction of 395, the viaduct
Okay.
836, or any of the work on I-95. That is fully funded.
Okay.
So currently, we're still working on the conceptual phase. We're at 60% design. Now, obviously, we don't have all the funds that we thought we were going to have, so that's where we have to work from at this point.
Got it. Do we know what the overall gap is? I mean, I think the 60 million was probably got us some of the way, but it didn't get us all the way, correct? Or
There are still some funds. There's about, I believe, somewhere around 8 million. Don't quote me on that.
okay.
But that's what we're trying to work through right now.
Okay. All right. More to be revealed. Thank you.
Yeah, and yeah, we'll hopefully we'll be able to provide an update at the next meeting. Any other questions?
Hey, Oscar, good morning. It's Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Good morning. Hey, quick question. So I noticed about a month ago the project completion date changed and it moved back a couple of years. Is that
Yes,
accurate?
that is accurate. Late
Can you-
2029.
Yeah, okay. So this was already pushed to 27. Now it's 2 years more. Do you have any insight as to like how come? What's the delay? What's the cause of the delay?
Well, that one of the major reasons is just the complexity of the project. You know, the engineering involved, the design time, the review time. We're working with very complex structures. So all that requires additional time. And, you know, we have other factors. We've had issues with contamination, supply chain issues, weather events. Many factors play into that, but it is a very complex project. The signature bridge, developing the plans, reviewing the plans, and then also the viaduct is also complicated as well.
Yeah. Okay, understood. So might there be portions or sections of the project that may open sooner than that, or is that full completion, or will there be phases prior to
That's
that
full
could?
completion. Right now on the 395 side, we're working towards opening the westbound signature bridge deck. And then once that's opened up, we can go ahead and remove the existing westbound 395 and remove that, and then we can build eastbound signature bridge deck where the old westbound used to be, while maintaining the eastbound traffic in its existing condition. So that's the sequence of what we're doing. So yeah, 395 westbound will be the first thing that opens.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Oscar.
I don't know if the project team has anything to add to that, Mark, but that's the plan. Any other questions, concerns? All right. Well, you all know where to reach me. If you do come up with any questions or concerns, I'm wishing everyone a great day. And remember, schools begin tomorrow. Be careful and mindful while driving around schools. Thank you, everyone. Have a
Thank
great
you,
day.
Oscar.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Oscar.
Take care,
Thank you,
Oscar.
Oscar.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.